All right. Can you please state your name and the position that you're seeking?
My name is Chastity Wedgeworth, and I'm running for U.S. Congress in District 13.
What is the purpose of our government?
The purpose of our government is to hold checks and balances, and make sure that the people are represented.
How will your faith play a role in fulfilling your duties as a congresswoman?
Um, I think my faith guides me morally. I don't think that your faith should be making decisions based off of the law. I think that the Constitution does that for us. So moral judgment is how my faith would be guiding me.
What is the biggest threat to Texas right now, and how do you plan to address it if you're elected?
I think currently in Texas, I think it's the AI data centers, honestly. I'm really, really worried about how they've snuck in, and a lot of people are very upset that they don't feel like that their voices were heard. Um, as a congression, I believe that that's a state issue, not necessarily a congressional issue, although they have been backed by the president and the administration. I think that that's probably a state issue. But I really do worry about what's going to happen to our natural resources and the fact that people have not been able to be heard. That's worrisome for me. So I think my job and what my plan is to make sure that my constituents are represented and heard.
Please explain the Washington Doctrine of Unstable Alliances, which called America to be, quote, friends to all and have, quote, entangling alliances with none, which characterized U.S. foreign policy, particularly beyond our hemisphere for the first century of America. Do you think this doctrine is still relevant today? Why or why not?
Can you repeat that question? It was really
It's,
long, and
it's,
I'm uninformed about what you're talking about, so I'm trying to listen
yeah.
carefully. So
So we're asking you to please explain the Washington Doctrine of Unstable Alliances. And what it did was it called America to be friends to all and have entangling alliances with none, which characterized U.S. foreign policy, particularly beyond our hemisphere, for the first century of America. Do you think this doctrine is still relevant today, that we be friends to all and have no entangled alliances with anyone? Why or why not?
I, like I said, I'm uninformed about the doctrine that you're speaking of exactly, but using what you've just told me, I would say that I would still back that. I think America needs to worry about what's happening in America right now. I think we really need to concentrate on Americans because Americans are suffering. And I think that that's something we need to concentrate on first.
Based on your understanding of the U.S. Constitution, in what circumstances, if any, can a state lawfully nullify a federal action, a written law, or a policy?
I don't think nullify is what I would say. I believe that states do have their own rights. I can't say nullify specifically, but I do believe that states can choose what happens in that state. So I wouldn't say nullify federal law, but I would say that they do have states' rights based off of the Constitution before the federal government would.
Do you think a state could lawfully enact something that was counter to the federal law?
I think we've seen that happen. I think we've seen that happen in cannabis specifically, right? That we have states that have cannabis laws and we have a federal government that says that cannabis is federally illegal. So I think we've seen that happen.
In 1965, Lyndon Baines Johnson signed into law the Hart-Celler Act. Prior to this act, immigration policy in the United States favored allowing a much smaller number of primarily Northern European immigrants. What is your position on returning the U.S. to pre-1965 immigration policies?
So I'm so sorry.
It's okay. So
They allowed what?
prior to him signing that act,
Okay.
the immigration policy in the U.S. allowed a much smaller number of primarily Northern European immigrants.
Okay.
What is your position on returning the U.S. to pre-1965 immigration policies?
I I think that that's probably not okay. I think that as a Christian, that I believe that all people matter, all people are important. America was built on immigrants from everywhere. So being only primarily northern immigrants, I think is a little unfair. I think people come to America to get a better life. I think that's what America was founded on, was life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I think that we should offer that to all Americans.
Would you make any changes or consider any changes to the current immigration process and policy?
I think that if we're going, I 100% agree that we should not have illegal immigrants, illegal immigration, right? What I think that we do need to do is beef up our judicial system in order to get people into America and get them vetted, legalized, so that they can work and contribute and build a life here. That's what we should do.
And would you seek to stay at the current standards in terms of number of people, or would you look to change that in any way?
You mean the
So currently they have a certain amount
amount
of
of
people that they allow in each year.
Mhm.
Do you think we should stay at those levels, or would you look at a change either direction?
I don't know that I think whatever our judicial system is capable of doing, right? Whatever we can, if we have people that are seeking to become citizens, I think that we should allow them to become citizens. We shouldn't make it 10, 15, 20 years for you to get to citizenship, right? We have the ability to get these people through this judicial process quickly so that they can become productive members of society. So that's what I don't know that there's a cap or a number to that specifically. So I don't know if I can answer that question. I'm sorry.
No, you did answer. Thank you. Okay. What is your understanding of the Monroe Doctrine?
I'm absolutely uninformed on that. I don't know. I'm so sorry.